super co-host
Yes.
because all it takes is a wrench to put it back
Exactly.
together.
Oh, screw that. I'm
I
not
think
crazy.
Spill needs
Well,
a new stunt like once a month.
I know
not a
we
co-host.
we put wheels on the bottom of the co-host to attach his ass to a
God.
bus.
I'm gonna let you guys going to turn me into Mr. Bill.
Oh, wait a minute, no, I'm on back the So you're driving over the interstate. Oh, no. All right. Well, I was just, I had to bring that up because we talked about it, but we didn't talk about it with you.
Oh my God.
And we talked about it out in the parking lot. We were like, man, none of us wanted to say anything.
No.
Yeah, so. The moral of the story is leave a retarded relative at home. That's all.
Well,
leave it home, put on VeggieTales.
It probably
Yeah.
would have been tolerated a lot better if it had been, like role models or something like that, where everybody's laughing constantly. Yeah, there just wasn't much laughing in Changeling.
In Changeling, no, it was like dead quiet. A lot of
Yeah.
scenes, just nothing going on except So anyway, well, that's good to know, man. I think it's safe to say that we really haven't hit Oscar season yet. I mean, they're trying,
Yeah.
But like Changeling, you don't think that was Oscar worthy, do you?
Well, it's going to depend on what else comes out, man. It's hard to bet against Clint Eastwood. It's just
Everybody
hard to bet
loves
against
Clint
him,
Eastwood, yeah. And I think,
and Jolie, and together they worked really, really well.
but a lot of critics, I think, I heard, I'm not sure. I think I don't. Okay, I got to go look and see. I think someone told me, Carlisle told me that a lot of people weren't into it. And I heard one review where it got slammed. So I'm thinking, still we have yet to really hit a good Oscar season. I mean, it's already November.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's
I mean,
creeping up.
have you seen anything that just made you say? And seriously, the thing that really made me say Oscar worthy, ironically, was The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Which normally would not be an Oscar movie.
Yeah, I have actually 2 films along with Dark Knight, and these are movies. Let the Right One In
And Iron Man. No.
no. I watched Iron Man today, but yeah, not Oscar.
No.
by any means.
No, but I want one of those poles when I have a private airplane.
That was CG, by the way. I don't know. If
What
you-
the
Yeah, they had it
stripper
behind the
pole?
scenes. Yeah, and it's funny because they were showing it behind the scenes, and you see like this unrendered CG pole rise up, and I'm like, what? That was CG?
They made a CG stripper pole.
Yeah,
What?
apparently you see it rise up from the floor, and it's all CG, and it hasn't been rendered, so it's all shaky.
They spent like $8 million on a stick with the girls CG who were dancing on it.
Oh, I wish they would have had those girls try to pretend to be, throwing themselves around on a fake pole. That would have been hilarious.
Falling and shit.
Yeah, but back to Oscar-worthy films. Let the Right One In, which
The vampire movie.
the vampire movie, which is in selected cities right now. Please go out and do yourself a favor and catch that film. That and a movie that you and I saw at the Austin Film Festival, Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, Slumdog Millionaire is great,
That
man.
movie blew me away. I don't even know if it has a release date or what. It's the new Danny Boyle film, but
Danny Boyle, who
Jesus.
did 28 Days
Yeah.
Later, Sunshine,
Sunshine, yeah.
Train Spotting.
Trainspotting, right.
Yeah, that movie is great, man.
Yeah, that is a great film. That blew me away. But yeah, those 3 are the only 3 movies that really, Dark Knight, Slumdog Millionaire, and Let the Right One In. Those are the only ones that have really stuck out this whole year, to be honest.
I am really, really stumped because I hadn't seen the other 2 you mentioned. But yeah, I mean, Dark Knight, just to me, 99 times out of 100, it's just not an Oscar film. But what has been out there? That's
what I'm
incredible.
saying. Nothing has jumped out and seized me as an Oscar-worthy movie.
Nope.
At least not American film. I'm trying to think of some foreign films that I've seen. But
And that's kind of one of the drawbacks to my job is that it's a drawback and it's a benefit because I've gotten to know all the theater managers and stuff like that. Most of them will be like, yeah, come on in. I'll get to go see a movie for free. But half the time I don't want to go to the theater because, I spent 3 nights there already this week working.
Yeah.
But the drawback I was going to mention, though, is that I don't get any of the more obscure films like the ones you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I get your Dark Knight. I get Knocked Up 11 billion times. I get things like that, and Role Models 5 times. So I don't get to see a lot of the more obscure films, and that kind of sucks because then I'm kind of theatered out by the end of the week and don't want to go see one.
yeah,
Right.
I know exactly what you mean, man. People will say, what do you want to do? I'll have friends say, let's go see a movie. And I'm like, either I've seen everything or even if I haven't, I'm like, man, I'm in a theater so much. Like now, there have been a time where I would have said, I would love to do that, but I can't do that now. People say, "Wow, you don't like to go to the festivals?" I said, I go to enough things because the press sends me to some things to see. And once I've seen those few things, I don't want to spend all day in the theater. I don't want to do this whole festival thing, going to movies like for 4 days. Yeah. I'm sorry, I just can't do it anymore.
And it's even worse once you get into a trend of just bad films. I mean, when I was on the other show that year, I remember I kind of told myself it's time for me to hang it up for a while because those films that were coming out were so terrible.
Yeah.
Sitting in at those press screenings
just not
was like
enjoying it
torture.
anymore.
No, it was like with a girlfriend that you should have broken up with like
6 months
like
before.
a year, like a year ago, and you just like, fuck this. No, it's over. It is over.
Yeah.
It's over, Johnny.
It's over.
Yes. But I tell you what, though, but seeing a film like The Dark Knight or Slumdog Millionaires, the feeling you get after watching a great film like those, it does like make you fall in love with being at the movies again. Honestly, I mean, after watching Slumdog Millionaire, when the crowd just went crazy after that film, I was like, "This is why I love movies. This is
exactly."
This is why I'm here.
But not all movies can be that,
Yeah, and you have to go in.
Not
there
all
knowing
movies
that,
can be Dark Knight or Slumdog.
Not at all, man. And you go into it knowing that if I didn't get such an education from watching bad movies, because I feel like I learn more from watching bad movies than good movies, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. But I'm never it never ceases to amaze me, the bad movies that I see.
Yeah.
So that's me.
I can appreciate that. There are some bad movies. Well, hell, you're sitting here by my extensive DVD collection.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there's stuff up there you probably looked at going, okay, I can never talk to this guy again.
When
Why
you got the
hell
room,
did
I was
buy
like,
this
he
shit?
sucks.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say it at all. You have 2 good things over here.
Yeah. Out of 200.
You actually, okay, people, look at this. He actually has Hudson Hawk over here.
That is one of the best bad movies in history.
Oh my God!
now-
But wait,
now it's a bad
Something's really sticking out. The Core. I mean, come on, really? The Core.
I did not spend a
Come
dime on that one.
Who bought that thing?
I
Your
hope
daughter?
not.
I got that
part-time
one
job?
year for
Your 9-year-old
Christmas.
daughter?
Oh
Oh.
my God!
Did you get that from the mother-in-law? Is that what happened?
Is it even unwrapped? That's the scary thing.
I won't make fun of you too bad. I still have, what do you call it? Man, what was the Michael Bay World War II movie?
Pearl Harbor.
I still have Pearl Harbor wrapped up at home.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I
Yes.
haven't.
Put that in the trash. Okay. I was gonna say put that on eBay.
I always
No,
told
put
myself
that in the trash.
I will watch it because it has cool effects, but I never got around to it, and I never will. I don't think so. Anyway, y'all want to get into some email?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's listen to the little people.
Yes.
All right, all you little folks out there who write your little letters.
I love-
For the record,
I love
since the
stepping-
last time I've been on, Corey has started making it to the right theater, but now he gets there 5 minutes before the film starts.
I've done that how many times? I've gone to the wrong theater.
Yeah. Leon will be calling him. It's like, hey, Corey, you coming? Yeah, I'm here, man. Where y'all at?
And
The wrong damn theater.
And it's amazing too because I will be there like about 5 minutes before the movie starts at the wrong theater. And fortunately, Austin is small enough at a certain time that you can get from one theater to the next in a good amount of time. All right, so I didn't copy any emails today because I have been. What's going on? What are y'all whispering about? I love you, Ghost.
No, he's just telling me how much of an idiot you are for never going to the right theater.
Actually, I was asking him
Sound like
if
you're
it'd
right.
be funny to let the dogs in because the dogs have never seen a black person before.
Yeah, he lets him through the door like, get your dog, man.
That would be funny. Why don't you do that?
Man, you know what? Hey, fuck you, man. The dogs were in here a little while ago. They like me. They don't like robots, so he saw him and
They
ran.
like steak too, Corey.
No,
But okay, you know what, man? I ain't got no feed into this.
let's get into
No pun
the
intended.
email.
All right. Oh, let's see. I didn't copy any email because we've been recording all day long.
You've been recording all day long.
Okay. Oh man, I'm just gonna take it. If we want to read it, we can read it. If not, we can just move on. I'm just like playing the lottery. I'm just pulling stuff out of a hat. This is from Ivan, and Ivan says,
So we'll have a scale here, co-host.
Yeah.
Proceed or fuck off.
Yes. Next. What does he say, Corey?
"Oh man, you know what? Okay, I'm not reading this one."
Fuck off.
Yeah, sorry, Ivan. I'll when I'm more prepared next week, I'll read it.
When you're more prepared.
Yeah, when I'm better
actually
prepared.
When you
Fair
have
to
your
do
when you
this?
have your reading glasses.
Let's see.
You know, I've known you for a long time now, Corey, and I never once figured you prepared for any of this.
Well, then this should be no surprise to you.
Yes. We are complete professionals here.
We were just here's a good question. We were just talking about this before we start the show because we were watching it on TV.
Yeah.
This comes from Aaron, and Aaron says, with the recent news of King of the Hill getting canceled and American Dad getting a 5th season, what are your thoughts on primetime animation now? And then, what's your take on the cancellation of King of the Hill?
Oh boy, another animation question, huh?
Are you fucking 15? Cartoons belong on Saturday mornings.
Are you serious?
I have not, aside from The Simpsons, none of this recent animation have I gotten into.
See, I think that there has been this boom in primetime animation. And you ask about King of the Hill. King of the Hill is in it's in syndication now. I mean, it's making money.
Yeah.
So if it gets canceled, it's not a bad thing for the producers of the people who made it. And it's been on for a while. King of the Hill is lucky to have run as long as it has. And I think it's a funny show, but it really is very oriented towards a certain culture in Texas. To have that
it's
transcend,
oriented to Texas.
Yeah. And to have that transcend and appeal to a national audience, the show was good for that.
To me, that show, and it's not taking away because it does have an audience, but for me, it was always, I'm flipping around, there ain't shit on, I'll watch this for a little bit till something else comes on. I just, none of this primetime animation stuff has ever interested me. There was one show that I just never got really, really into, like DVRing it every week, but it was Drawn Together, I think is what it was called.
Oh, yeah. It was on Cartoon.
Yeah.
Did they get canceled?
No, it's Comedy Central.
Comedy Central.
Yeah. Did they get canceled?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Oh,
I'm more of, like I said, I guess growing up, there's something about when I get home at night, I want to watch live TV, even though some of it may not
real
be
people?
all that good. Yeah,
Now you can't say that cartoons are just for 15-year-olds because South Park is an extremely popular show.
Okay, I lied. They're that and Simpsons. South Park, huge fan.
But
Okay.
now try to
But just
play that
not
on Saturday
prime
morning.
time. Yeah, but that's not going Saturday morning. But I guess it's not, primetime network television. It's like going to animation. Everybody's trying to be The Simpsons to me. Everybody's praying to have a tenth of the success.
I mean, when
show's
Family
had.
Guy started, I mean, you could point out all the similarities.
Yeah.
like crazy, and then I guess it developed on its own. After a while, it found its own voice. But as it's funny. The funny thing about Family Guy, at least, is that I was watching more of Family Guy when it was on DVD, and then when they renewed the show back on TV, I barely seen any episodes, to be honest, and I never really hear about it being talked about.
Well, apparently it's doing well. I mean,
obviously,
you didn't feel like
obviously
you
it's gonna
lost anything, though.
No,
you didn't
not
go out and
really.
look for it, and that's kind of my thing.
my whole thing is that, okay, they've had some successful shows. Right after The Simpsons came out, they had a bunch of shows trying too hard to be primetime animated shows, and they did bad. The guy who did Steve Bochco, I think, the guy who did NYPD Blue, actually made a cartoon called Capital Critters. And it was about talking
that's
rats
right.
and shit.
Yeah.
And they actually tried to run this on primetime, and it was a lame-ass show, man. And this was a guy who knew nothing about animation that well, to put not enough to put it on TV at primetime. So if you force it, it's just like anything else. If you force it, it's bad. If you actually have a good idea and you think it's a show that's more adult-oriented than kid-oriented and it needs to go on primetime, but it's truly inspired, then do it.
Now, didn't that show come out around the same time as the PJs?
Yeah, it was
Eddie
around
Murphy
that
show?
time. And then we were doing things like running shows that were for kids on prime time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for some reason. I was like, what kind of wacky thinking is behind this? If you would just put cartoons on prime time, people are going to watch. It's like, no, man, you got to be inspired. Make a good show. That's all I'm saying. Primetime animation is going to continue because it's successful now. But like I said, for it to succeed, it has to be something that is a good idea.
Right. What do you think about American Dad? Because I think that's one of those shows that tries too hard. I almost wish that I know that it's the same creator as Family Guy, but I'm always like, I wish people wouldn't go off and try to do like spin-off shows. I'm like, concentrate on the show that you're doing right now and make it funny.
Well, what we're doing here,
consistently.
with animation now in prime time, what we're seeing is everything is centered around the family. How eccentric can the family be? Mm-hmm. Are we doing anything on primetime, at least on network television, that's not that? Mm-hmm. Even South Park, to a certain degree, is about kids and they have weird families. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we're really seeing anything like We don't see any science fiction shows on prime time.
No.
We don't see any kind of anything that has to do
Well,
with the
Futurama, that was
still a comedy though.
yeah,
I mean,
it was comedy. The sci-fi in that was still awesome to see. I mean,
Oh, you know what? Okay, I take that back.
Yeah.
That could be considered.
Right.
But what I'm talking about is it's still comedy. It hasn't matured enough yet to where you're going to see something like a badass Terminator series that's animated on
no.
prime time. Not
Buck
yet.
Rogers, the animated series
Yeah,
in prime time.
no, nobody's willing to take it that serious yet.
Right.
So it's going to be some time before we actually see it mature a little bit more. But right now, I think
the
that's the problem.
closest thing to at least adult animation probably would have been the Justice League Unlimited, because that was on.
But that was still for kids. So I mean, they still pitched it as for kids.
Did they?
It was on Cartoon Network. Not. It wasn't on Adult Swim. It was on Cartoon Network.
Well, I know at least the time it came on. Like, didn't it come on like around 7 or 8?
It came on. Well, it was still at the time that the Adventures of Billy and Mandy still come on like around those times. I mean, they showed kids cartoons until 9 o'clock or 10.
I would never associate Justice League with kids cartoons, but I mean,
They walked the line. I mean, it was
Yeah.
they weren't ready to say it was an adult show, and it wasn't.
And boy, do I have to say that just like Family Guy, where it does great on DVD, I got turned on to Futurama when it was canceled, and I started watching the DVDs, and I really got into it. And I guess that got renewed, but now they're turning those into straight to DVD movies.
Yeah.
Where I have to say I've been really, really disappointed with those last two straight to DVD Futurama.
I like the way
movies.
Sean sounded like, "What the fuck are y'all talking about?"
You don't know what Futurama is?
No, I know exactly what
Okay,
Futurama
I was
is.
about to say.
And it was. Again, it was one of those shows. If nothing else was on, sure, I'll watch it. It was amusing.
Mm-hmm.
I just flipped on my TV while y'all were talking because I wanted to look at my DVR list of all the shows that I record and trying to think if there's anything even remotely animated that I even record.
I noticed you had
There's
the
not.
Gilmore Girls on there. I was going to ask you about that.
Dude, I will sue
Yeah.
your robot ass for
That
slander. Don't
and
go there.
That and Gossip Girl.
I
was
have
really-
plenty of shit on there to be ashamed of. I don't need Gilmore Girls.
All right. Well, we got that out the way. And you know what? That was a good thing you pointed out. Futurama was a departure from that, but everything else seems to be more or less.
Yeah, you're right.
Even like
It's
King
a
of the
sit-
Hill,
an animated sitcom.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, let's move on to our
And
next.
did we even answer her question?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
And Aaron's,
I'm not
Aaron's
sure.
a guy, by the way.
Yeah, oh, guy.
I think.
Yeah.
Or he could be both. It could happen.
Did we answer Herm question?
Herm. Yes, we did. All right. We have a question here from one of our regulars, the hacker, Alex Hacker. Alex says, "Oh, so I recently broke up with this girl, and it's been really hard for me. Do you have any personal favorite breakup movies or feel-good movies? Or had a movie that you saw and really related to the point that it is kind of scary?" Oh, man, you know something?
You know, when you're breaking up, you need to go pop in and spend the weekend watching Band of Brothers. Realize how insignificant your little fucking problems are. When you see what those guys went through,
Hell, I say
and then grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'd say put on Schindler's List. That'd
Yeah,
probably have
yeah,
the
there
same
you go.
effect.
Go watch Hotel Rwanda. You'll be like, shit.
Oh, yeah.
My
Oh,
life is
my
pretty
God.
good. You know, man. Hey,
Yeah.
fuck that girl. This ain't
Yeah,
so bad.
at least she ain't chasing me down with a machete. You know? God,
No,
don't bring
you know,
up Hotel Rwanda.
I tell
boy.
you what, though, man. Really, that's a good point. You have to kind of sit back and say, my life is all right. But that's easier said than done. I think Sean, you and I probably have had breakups where we're like, wow, man, no matter how much I want to get over this, I'm thinking, wow, this sucks. And I would just say everybody has a favorite movie, a movie that you can watch and you can forget about things. I would recommend you watch that movie. For me, if I went through something,
was it Pootie Tang?
Pootie Tang, Sadate on the Badate, you know.
Shaft.
There are some movies that I would watch. I mean, there's a lot of movies. And adventure movies really help me escape. And I remember
Human Tornado.
The Human Tornado, man. See, that's a movie I could watch and just laugh my ass off. Another movie that I found myself watching, I think I've said this before, for some reason, North by Northwest did it for me. North by Northwest made me, I would watch it because Cary Grant is an asshole in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't get, I mean, he can get a woman, not really give a shit. And I would watch
Yeah.
that and be like, you know what? I want to be like Cary Grant. I'm watching this movie. He don't give a fuck about women, and I want to get caught up in an adventure like him too. Tell people to go fuck themselves, and that would really make me feel like kind of a badass. I'd be like, man, fuck girls. I'm like Cary Grant.
I watched that Ford Fairlane movie with
sorry.
Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah, he's just a prick.
Hey, hickory dickory dock.
Oh.
3 blind mice. See how they run. Where the
What's
fuck
in
they
the-
going?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Never gets old.
Well, along came a spider and said, "What's in the bowl, bitch?"
Oh,
Hey!
oh, was it that movie where his one of my favorite jokes of his? Hey, sorry for making you clean the toilet, but who do you think did all the work in bed last night?
Yeah, and that's when he woke up with a heart on, and and the girl was like, "What?" And he's like, "So, big deal." Yeah, I would say, man, just go. What about you? You got any? Yeah, did you have any movies that just help you get through a tough time?
A tough time. Well, in all honesty, I could sit and watch Band of Brothers straight through
The
any day
HBO
of the
series?
week. Yeah, the
Yeah.
HBO
all
miniseries.
all like 20 hours
10
of it.
episodes. Yeah, dude, that was brilliant.
That is a great
absolutely
show. That
brilliant.
is an incredible show.
Yeah, make sure you look
I
over
won't
there
lie.
because that is in the collection. But as far as just a regular movie, I would just have to pick some, like Corey said, some sort of action adventure, something or other. James Bond. Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
could be like
a
James
good one,
Bond,
man.
Yeah.
Like today, if I had like especially problems with a girl, Casino Royale would actually get me through. Yeah.
Yeah.
So So you're right, man. That's a good one.
Can I throw in my pick?
What?
I'll say Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yes. He's looking for his bike, and he tells Dottie, he's like, you don't want to get involved with a guy like me. I'm a little Dottie, a rebel.
Mr. Herman.
It's funny
Mr.
because
Herman.
paging Mr. Herman. We all have like these manly men that we look up to, and his big manly guy is Pee Wee Herman.
That's right.
He loves Pee Wee Herman. He can't help but mention
Remember
Pee
when
Wee
he's
Herman.
walking down the alley?
Because he likes to rub one out in the theater.
Hey, no. Pee-wee was one tough cookie. Don't you remember when he's walking down the alley and those those guys in that gang ran up and go, hey, give us your money. He turns around, looks at him, and goes, ah, and go running. Woo!
Yeah, no, man. I have you
Don't
know
lie,
that.
don't lie, co-host. Your favorite part's when he does the tequila dance on the bar.
Oh yeah.
Hey, ain't nothing
that's
wrong
one of
with
my
that
favorite
scene.
parts.
That's a kick-ass scene.
Hey, that's one of the best
keep it
scenes in
down.
movie history.
I'm trying to use the phone.
Get him.
Yeah, I say we tattoo him. First we tattoo him, then we kill him, then we hang him. I say
Man.
we leave him alone.
Okay, the fact that we know that is
Oh,
just
see?
pathetic.
I know it's so bad, man. I mean, no, I think that's one of the greatest movies,
Instant
man.
classic.
I love Pee Wee's
Tim
Big Adventure.
Burton's greatest film of all time.
I think so
Yes.
too.
I'm
That movie's
sorry.
so nonsensical but so fun to watch.
Yes.
That movie will actually put you in a very good mood, man.
Oh yeah, Will.
Yeah, I gotta admit, if I was watching that, I'd just all my worries would go out the window,
When
man.
Francis was taking his bath and he's pretending to be Godzilla and he's grabbing the little action figure, like, oh no, oh wow, wow, making his noises. That was awesome.
Pee Wee, listen to reason. Shh, what are you doing, Pee Wee? I'm listening to reason. Sean, that's like
Oh,
that's Sean's tipping
I
point. He's
know.
like, I don't know that much.
I know.
Yeah,
Sorry, Sean.
wow.
We're geeking out here.
There's no basement in the Alamo.
Oh no, man. So it was some chick I actually said that to. I said that there was a basement in the Alamo, and she thought I was for real. She's like, really? It was in the basement? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, the bike was right down there in the basement. Oh.
And that's what it was. Because I said, you know about the basement of Alamo, right? And then she was like, oh yeah, of course I know about the basement. I was like, you dumb broad, I didn't know basement of Alamo.
They even had the James Bond villain in that movie, the butler, Francis Butler. Where Pee Wee goes, knocks on his door, and he's like, "Where's Francis?" He's like, "Francis is busy. He's taking his bath." He's like, oh yeah, where are they holding them down?
That was a James Bond villain. Who?
Yeah, wasn't he the guy with the top hat, or was it was?
Oh, you talking about Odd Job?
Yeah,
Odd Job.
Odd Job.
That was
Yeah.
Odd Job.
I want to say it was Odd Job. yeah.
Random task.
Yes.
Gold. What was that? Gold member.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. All Asian
You
people
would.
look
You
alike to me.
just want everything to go back to Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Oh man, we still. Okay, we still record. I thought we stopped recording that.
Oh,
first.
that would have sucked.
I know.
There was,
That
there
great
was some
material.
comedy gold in
Yeah.
Yeah,
there.
like look,
Somewhere in there. We'll
Sean
dig
over
it
patting himself on the back. I was so good in that.
out.
Well, no,
Comedy
Corey,
gold and Corey's
Corey,
nose.
play with me here because
No,
we
we're
can
not
play
playing
like
with
we did.
Oh,
we
gross.
can play like we cut something out there on accident. No, y'all missed the funny part. We promise.
Oh, please.
Yeah, no, you can't repeat it.
No
The
playing
genius that was going on
Yeah,
here. was-
I'm sorry, guys. This was the best ever, and you just lost an hour of it.
Another Leog part 2.
I was sad, man. They
I
lost
know.
that.
Tell me about it.
Co-host and I were there for one of the Leogs, and they lost. And look, I thought it was brilliant what was happening.
I know,
It was so
I
funny.
know.
And
It was probably like one
it
of
was
the
the best thing they
shows
had done
ever,
and it was it's gone.
and it was just gone. Yeah,
And they were drunk as because
Yeah, we were.
Because Cyrus tried to say, you guys record drunk too much, and I'm like, man, we haven't been drunk.
yeah. Wasn't he giving you like a lecture after we recorded?
No, he
remember
was.
hearing him going like he's like, I don't know
talking to
why
the mic.
I don't know why you'd keep that stuff in, and I was like, what's he saying?
He actually sat down. Cyrus actually got me in the kitchen. It's like now he did this because we had started. And he sits me down. And he's like, I just don't understand why you guys just keep yourselves limited. And I'm like, limited, like under an hour. Why do you do? I was like, man, we go like 3 hours sometimes. Oh, you do? Well, I don't know why you keep some of that stuff in there. I mean, I would be embarrassed if I was you. And I was like, what are you? That's way too personal for me. I'm like, yeah, well, nobody has gotten in trouble yet.
We ain't you.
Yeah, exactly. You do what you do. And then he was like, oh, and another thing, man. You guys, I just don't understand why you. What did he say to me? He's like,
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what he said. I kind of walked out because I'm like, I don't know if I want to.
it was something
I
else.
don't know if I want to be in this room.
And then
So keep this in mind, folks. When camera phone cop here loses his job because he recorded on spill one too many times, I may need some security work.
there you go.
boy.
Yeah.
there you go. I'll hire you for 50 cents.
And then it was funny after that lecture.
I know.
all
I
that
walked out
shit-
as soon as that lecture started. I'm like, okay, I don't know if he's gonna tell Corey anything Corey wants to hear, so I'm just gonna exit.
Yeah, and then
I'm gonna go drink.
that was the other thing. It's like,
Yeah.
and you know what, you guys, it's like you get way crazy because you can just tell you're way drunk. You've been recording too much, and I was like,
What?
we haven't been drinking
I know.
the last 3 shows.
Now,
And then
doesn't this guy know us by now?
I
Yeah.
thought the whole purpose of Leon was them to get hammered
and
and
they
talk
get
comics.
and then they get so drunk they lose everything.
I know. Yeah. It's funny because as soon as he was lecturing you about what we were doing, and then I was so looking forward to that show. I was telling people about that show, and then
to find out it's all gone.
I didn't even listen to it. I just looked at the comments. The first thing I read was, "What the hell? What the hell happened? Where's the rest of it? Is this a joke?" And then
yeah.
I found out that I talked to Leon, and he told me, and Leon was so depressed when he told me what had happened, and I was like, "Oh man, are you kidding me?" I didn't even want to listen to it, to be honest, because I knew by the time it cut out, I was going to be pissed.
Wait a minute, Sean, what are you doing?
Nothing at all.
Oh man, you know what? He's back there. He's got a Jaeger bottle and a little container of Pennzoil.
Yeah, we're hanging out with a guy who has a kegerator in his
house.
in his dining room.
Yeah,
Right there.
he's got a refrigerator with the kids' drawings on it, and then he's got like a fucking keg next to it.
Which I will say is awesome. You got the coolest family ever you have the coolest wife ever to let you have that right there.
As a matter of fact, the keg has like kids' drawings stapled on it.
Well, I feel like we have to do this in honor of the lost Leon.
There you go.
And you know what? Thanks to you, after we drink this, everything is going to be lost.
yes, I know,
Yeah.
right?
All right,
Sure.
what's
All
this
right,
to?
let's get to
To
Leon.
Leon.
the lost
To Leon, to the lost
There you
show.
go.
Ching.
Good ching.
Ka-ching.
Hey, can you guys get me a straw so I can put this in my back?
Refreshing.
Don't have to worry about having to cough tonight.
No, I don't cough.
Except trying to get home in your racist part of town. You been drinking, boy? Well, I
No.
did have one. Get out the car. Man, my feelings were hurt because I just
You have
get me?
feelings? What
I
are you
said,
talking about?
man, I just said, hey, yeah, you guys, that was great what you did tonight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but let me tell you what you fucking up on. I was like,
Oh,
man,
with
I was
the
like-
conversation?
Yeah, like,
I
man,
know.
what
I was
did-
like,
what did I do?
come
I
on.
was-
He was drunk. I
I
hope.
know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry for the loss though, because it was.
I know
great.
that was probably like, and I brought all my comic books, Corey. Oh my God, I was prepared, boy.
I
That
know
was
you were. You-
my one moment to shine about my dorkiness and my comic books that I love so much and lost
forever.
And
Man,
don't expect me to
I
bring.
joked about
don't
that
expect
with,
me to bring
with,
those comic books back ever again.
Leon and Cyrus, because I had cleaned out my attic sometime, I guess it was over the summer, and I found my one remaining box of comics that are all wrapped in plastic. And I'm sure they're shit in there like, you know, the J.C. Penney's Marvel Superheroes giveaway comic, and I've got it like wrapped in plastic with cardboard in it.
Nice. You're a collector, I see.
Yeah, look at he's trying to act like I'm no dork. I'm a man's
Yes.
man. I got a keg in my daughter's bedroom.
I know.
All right. So before we move on to any more email here, I'm going to go ahead, and we always have to stop in the middle for a little commercial break. Now we have to
Yes.
stop because we got to render this out, and we'll be back. Are we good? Your wife going to kick us out right now?
Oh, no, we're still
Okay.
good.
You mind if I drain out my coolant right here on the floor?
You take it outside, bro.
Just right here on the floor.
Keep those dogs back.
All right, we're back. The oil emptied all over the floor and everything. Sean already
Yes.
slipped on it. Hey, before we continue, I want to make a sort of an announcement here. I mentioned this earlier on the cold ones. Mm-hmm. So in London, people have heard that I'm coming there to visit a relative, and everybody's setting up a party, and they want to know, when do we want to do it? When am I coming? They just want to know about the group on the site that Nick Hodges has started. Renegade kicked all this off. So there's a site on there called